Damn, I feel fucking legit. Too legit. Too legit to quit.
Too legit.
Too legit to quit. Hey, too legit. Too legit to quit. Too legit.
188. There we go. Anyways, if y'all don't know what you're listening to, this is the No Hangover podcast.
It is fucking Cinco de Mayo, so I have a margarita in hand.
By the time you hear this, it'll be like the 7th or the 8th. But
I'm not
anyways.
Mexican, though.
Anyways.
Don't you have that sombrero, too? You should have brought that.
I do. I didn't think about it. I do have a big-ass sombrero.
Tequila. So
Tequila.
I feel like we're being as Mexican as we can.
Okay. But in other news, going straight into it, Drake and Kendrick beef has it's going to new levels.
Yeah, they're getting dirty.
It's going
real dirty.
It's getting real dirty real quick.
Oh shit!
So I think we're at a total of, what is this? Kendrick alone has dropped 4. I think we're at 7 songs in total.
So let's see. I mean, I'm
because
sure.
Like That was technically like
that was the one that started everything.
The catalyst to this whole.
Well, I mean, yeah, to this current, they have been taking shots at each other for a while now, but like this current saga of Kendrick and Drake beef.
So yeah, this is Like That, Push-Ups after that. Then Kendrick goes Euphoria. Drake drops Family Matters. Actually, besides Euphoria, he also dropped 616 in LA. Then Drake drops Family Matters. Kendrick immediately drops Meet the Grams. Not even 30. I don't even think he listened to Family Matters one time before he already dropped that shit. And then he drops Not Like Us. So, on the scorecards.
Did you see, is that the exact timeline?
What? Like song for song?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure. I mean, 616 isn't on like Apple Music. At least I don't think
Tailor Made, too. Tailor Made was probably my favorite one up until this
true.
point.
Tailor Made the bet.
And I don't know why it got so. I mean, it got hate because he was using AI and shit. But I felt like from like a beef and like a creative perspective and like the cleverness of it, I thought it was good. I mean, he used AI Tupac voice and AI Snoop Dogg voice to pretty much be like, please Kendrick, like do something, like please, like we're begging you.
Well, that is
and
one thing I will
Snoop Dogg didn't really say anything.
No, Snoop didn't mind it.
No.
The one thing I will say about it though, he begged the man to do something.
And he did it. Called him a whole pedo.
Kendrick is coming with the bars after bars.
Yeah,
He's coming for this man's life. Because Kendrick, since Drake dropped Tailor Made, has dropped 4 straight diss songs.
I'm trying to see if
ranging
I can find
from with a total of, I think it's 6 minutes, 6 minutes, 4 minutes, 6 minutes. Or
I mean, they're long
6,
songs.
Yeah.
Long songs.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find.
So he's got like 20 minutes of just straight ranting and telling Drake all kinds of shit.
Calling him a pedo.
He's a terrible father, terrible person, piece of shit, pill popper, pedophile. It's probably the most damning.
He called him an info, like he's a fucking addicted to sex.
Yeah.
All right, so I got the timeline right here. So, I guess they got it from First Person Shooter. It was the first song initially, because I guess they're talking about Big 3.
So we're gonna. Throw
that's what starts it because.
All right, so then we're throwing in 7-minute drill from J. Cole. Then?
Yeah, that counts
that's
too.
in the timeline.
Kendrick Lamar responds on Like That on March 22nd. So First Person Shooter comes out October 6th, 2023. March 22nd of 24. Like That. You know, obviously the whole fucking Metro Room and Future shit. You know, they're taking clear shots at Drake.
And it's a whole team of people taking shots at Drake.
ASAP, fucking Rick Ross, fucking, you know, everyone.
The Weeknd is on a track, but I don't.
I like The Weeknd, but like, shut the fuck up. Go sing.
But did The Weeknd?
Like,
what did The
hard
Weeknd say though, per se?
Something about like he didn't sign his life away to OVO, blah 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 blah. I mean, I think it's more of an association thing. Like, you know, he's on that whole album is pretty much taking shots at Drake of we
True.
don't trust you, and he's on there talking about, you know, I'm happy I didn't sign my life away, and there people are referencing him because he was gonna sign to OVO, and then they had that little beef in 2011, 2012, blah blah blah. But I mean, also it's like, how serious can you take a diss from The Weeknd? Like,
Well, yeah,
he's singing it to you, making it sound beautiful and angelic, and it's
He's
like,
serenading you.
like, I'm hurt. Like,
But-
no, I'll probably.
That was a hard bar from Drake on the Family Matters. Like, oh, I knew it was the beef. Like, I knew it was real shit when
Yeah.
Abel.
So then
hit you with
April
the serenade.
5th, J. Cole drops 7-minute drill.
Which
April 5th. April 7th.
song was hard. I don't know. I mean, I understand.
It wasn't even, I mean, like, it was
I
good.
understand why J. Cole did it, but at the same time, it's like, bro, why?
It was
Just
good, but
just
like,
stand on your shit. Like, if you're gonna drop something, if you're gonna be calling out everybody saying you're the best rapper, you know, this is a perfect opportunity for you to prove it and go toe to toe with all of them. Maybe he just wanted to let them battle it out first, then he'll come back and be like, all right, now it's you versus
no,
me.
he's done. He's already done. He's already apologized. I'm sorry on stage
Yeah.
at his festival.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm sorry. Can't do it. Yeah, which I mean, also it was a pretty good song, but it was more of like warning shots, and then
Oh, it was the whole time.
it was
but-
more warning shots to himself, I guess. I don't fucking know. And then April 13th, Drake responds with push-ups. April 15th, Bear. Rick Ross drops Champagne Moments. April 19th, Taylor Made. April 21st, Kanye West drops Like That. Great day in history. April 21st. April 30th, he just laid down. All right, I'm
Got
done
outta
with
here.
this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to my bed. Kendrick Lamar drops Euphoria May 1st. It's just Drake trolling. Let's see. Euphoria May 3rd. Kendrick drops 616 in LA. May 3rd again. Family Matters by Drake. May 4th. Not Like Us. And again, up until this point,
what about Meet the Grams then?
Oh, fuck! Did I miss that one?
Meet the Grams was literally like 30 minutes after Drake dropped Family Matters.
Oh yeah, that's May 3rd. Yeah, May
so
3rd.
it's
Family
all-
Matters with Meet the Grams. Yeah, and then May 4th. But again, up until this point, it does seem like
now we are.
Yeah,
It's May 5th. Cinco de Mayo.
for real,
talking about
drinking
this rap beef.
margaritas and fucking
I'm not a margarita fan myself.
talking about Drake the pedo. Which I mean, there's a lot of like, obviously social media is gonna come out and start doing all the digging and shit, like the Millie Bobby Brown stuff, and there's been a couple other females that he has allegedly groomed. But I mean, again, up until this point, that seems to be the most damning thing, and the most that's gonna hit his image the most. Because I mean, Kendrick tried to come out and say that he's hiding a daughter. Drake came out and was like, where's his daughter? Like,
Yeah,
if
you
they,
saw
if
he
they,
doubled down on it. If anyone
Yeah,
finds my daughter,
then I'll quit rapping. So I mean, I guess I'm leaning towards that.
I mean,
that's
I
probably
saw-
not true, but the fact that he hasn't said anything.
I saw another thing that was basically referencing that Kendrick was like, "Oh, he's missing your 11th birthday." It might not be about like him having a daughter, but might be about Millie Bobby Brown's character 11.
Ooh.
So it was like maybe he's using it that way, and it just went over everybody's head that he's like. So yeah, when I saw that, I was like, "Oh shit!" Because Kendrick.
Drake, you need to fucking stop fucking around and drop something like yesterday, brother.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got another day. He's got at least till.
Well, I mean,
I said it yesterday when fucking Not Like Us came out, and even before that when he dropped right after he dropped Family Matters and Kendrick dropped like 20 minutes after him. I was like, oh, he gotta go straight back into the studio.
and in fucking Not Like Us, he says he's got 10 more of
like
these.
10,
He said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. Like,
Yeah.
he's got fucking 10 fucking
10 diss
bullets
tracks
in the
ready.
fucking.
But my thing is, I take it with a grain of salt because it's like, it's hard. I mean, I'm all here for it. I love listening to it, the back and forth. I love dissecting the bars. But it's like, Kendrick, how much time are you gonna give this man? It's like you're making an album for Drake.
Yeah.
He's basically making an album about how much he hates Drake.
Which, I mean,
it's kind of flattering, honestly.
well, not even that, but
No, but it's just to show.
I mean,
Like,
I think we're kind of leading to the same point that it goes to show the power of Drake. Like, this is all, you know, a lot of people are getting, especially in rap, they got their first number ones, they've got their biggest songs, they've gotten their highest charting songs, their biggest paydays with Drake.
Oh.
Whether you like that or not, you know, that's you know, that's up to you. But the facts are the facts, and the fact of the matter is that if you put Drake's name on it, OVO, you know, if Drake is around it, money will be made, and people are gonna get paid out.
Oh.
And that's just the fact of the matter. You know, fucking Rick Ross is the biggest example. I saw something that I'm pretty sure I said this on the last podcast, but if you take away all the songs that he has with Drake, his biggest charting song is Hustlin'. And that came out in what, like 07, 06? So it's like, you know, say what you want. Now, again, if the pedophile allegations end up being fucking true and all that, then, you know, that's rough goings. That is rough goings. That's definitely going to hit his image. That's definitely going to, soil him.
That's going to change people's whole perspective about it.
But we were just saying before we recorded, if R. Kelly can fucking piss on little girls and get away with it for 20 years, then people are still going to be fucking banging Drake's music in 20 years. If Michael Jackson can get away with the pedophile allegations and all that shit, you know, people have showed us that.
Well, it doesn't take away from them as artists, but it definitely hurts them as people.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was getting at, is that people have showed us that it doesn't matter what the allegations is. If the artwork is good enough and timeless enough, people are not going to give a fuck, and they will keep on listening to music, and they will keep on watching people's movies, and they will keep on supporting their art regardless of what their personal life is. I mean, you can see that in politics, you can see that in entertainment.
I mean, yeah,
you can see that in fucking just about anything.
I mean,
if you are great in sports, sports is a great example. Fucking how many athletes have we seen? I mean, greats. And I mean, no disrespect, Kobe Bryant had a rape charge. Fucking Ben Roethlisberger had sexual. You know, how many times do we see sexual assault charges or rape charges or battery charges? You go win a championship, and no one fucking thinks about that shit anymore. Winning solves everything. Winning cures everything. Again, whether it's in politics, music, sports, entertainment. If you're winning, you're on top. What you do on the side, people will more times than not just kind of, you know.
I mean, I want to dive into these allegations a little bit from each side. So we got on the one end, in Drake's song, telling basically like, there's a couple allegations made towards Kendrick saying that one of Kendrick's kids ain't his. Yeah. It's his manager's. That Kendrick and his, you know, longtime girlfriend, they've never been married, I guess.
It's more for publicity and shit like that.
And that they're apparently now, which again, these are
He also called Kendrick a woman beater. So
yeah, he said like you have your crisis team, you know, keeping you all separated. Like you live in New York now. I'm pretty sure his wife or girlfriend or longtime girlfriend lives in LA.
His woman.
Yeah. But that's an allegation. Like if he does beat her, and it's the same thing. Granted, I think, you know, there's levels to this shit. Women beating, terrible. Pedophile, worse. But it goes to show, like, just as you said, if you're winning or if you're making, you know, great bars, catchy shit, that might get swept under the rug. Maybe people like, oh no, you know, he doesn't do that.
I mean, Rick Ross, for as much as I appreciate Rick Ross and I do like rap and hip hop and all that shit. I mean, one of his most famous bars is, "I put Molly up in a drink. She didn't even know it. Yeah. Took her home and did what I want. She didn't even know it." Like, he literally just in two bars said, "I raped a chick, date raped a chick," and
she didn't.
And he's over here talking about BBL Drake, fucking listen here, white boy, all that shit. It's like, Drake. I mean, Rick Ross, shut the fuck up. Like,
and Family Matters, that was a hard line by Drake too. White boy got a ring to it. They're waving their white flags, but they still play my music, and it's just like, oh,
yeah, like, and that's kind of like why.
I think his hardest bar though, the only so I like Family Matters for sure. The only because I like the beat changes. I like what he's saying in certain parts. I think he did give some of his hardest bars though to like Rick Ross and ASAP
Yeah, no, of course. I mean,
And,
and that's the whole thing. Like, if we're chronicling this from the beginning, like Drake brought ASAP Rocky and Kendrick on his Club Paradise tour when Drake was on, Take Care. He was already the biggest thing. Like, he's the Messiah, the Savior, all this shit. And I mean, he even says it in I forget what song it is, but like, they wanted his management and his people wanted him to bring somebody, more like mainstream. He's like, nah, I'm gonna bring these guys because it's, for rap, for the culture, all that shit. He brought him on tour with him, and like, there's tons of videos of Kendrick, ASAP Rocky, The Weeknd, Rick Ross, all these people like, oh yeah, I fuck with Drake, like, he's done a lot, blah blah, this and that and the third, like, he's helped us out, like, I wouldn't be here without Drake, all this shit.
Surfaced an interview of ASAP saying that.
But again, just playing devil's advocate, maybe Drake is kind of gone off the deep end a little bit. Maybe, the pill popping shit, the addiction stuff, he has been a little, when he had his, when he used to have beefs before, it did seem a lot more calculated. He wasn't on Instagram and social media as much. He's, trigger fingers turn to Twitter fingers type shit. That's what he was saying to Meek Mill, because he was. And I was talking to Jordan yesterday, and Meek Mill admitted that he was off perks and shit like that when he was beefing with Drake. So that's why he was so fucking like all over the place and erratic and shit like that. Drake has been on social media a lot more, running to social media a lot more, dropping a lot more music recently, not really giving it a rest. The whole, Drake fucking, I don't know if he leaked it, but his dick pic got leaked, shit like that. So it's like, there is kind of like,
yeah, that was a questionable bar
from
when he goes this
I'm the big D, some shit about
ain't the big three, it's the big D or something like that.
Proof and some shit like that.
It's like, come on.
Which, I mean, part of that is too is that he's kind of the Eminem approach of like just shitting on yourself so then they can't shit on you. But, there's, compared to how he would handle beefs before to now, there is a little, it does seem a little bit less calculated. It does seem a little bit more erratic. It does seem a little bit more like, he's kind of, he doesn't necessarily have the upper hand like he's had before, in the sense of like, it's on his terms. It does kind of seem like it is more on Kendrick Lamar's terms, and he's dictating the rules of engagement just a little bit.
Well, now, I mean, especially after Drake was like, come on, Kendrick, do something. And then Kendrick drops 4 fucking songs.
He did it. And we have, well, and I will say that too, because I think it was Tailor Made that he dropped. And then we waited, 11 days for Kendrick Lamar, because DJ Academics was having he was posting like the time in between. So it was almost 2 weeks before we got this, little fucking 4 songs from Kendrick. So I mean,
which those 4 songs, I felt like they were all ready. They didn't wait to hear Family Matters. Like, they already were calculated.
They were loaded. Yeah,
knew,
they were in the chamber.
And
already.
Then he just dropped them, because especially Meet the Grams. Granted, I don't know if it's someone in Drake's team. I don't know if someone's leaking shit. But for instance, Family Matters and then Meet the Grams, like, it's like you just knew that was gonna like play on the family tie shit. It's like,
well, there's also like with the daughter stuff that that's been kind of like speculated that they're feeding Kendrick Lamar's camp false information. So the daughter stuff was because Drake posted on Instagram about it, talking about like, where's this daughter? Like we have them, like they're in shambles over there, some shit like that. And they haven't, they pretty much stating that, yeah, we're feeding them false information and they're running with it. But again, after yesterday with Not Like Us, the whole picture with the, of Drake's house, the OVO mansion, all the fucking predator pins and all that shit, the sex offender pins, and then, it's been, he hasn't said anything. He responded to like the daughter thing, but hasn't denounced any of the pedophile shit or hasn't responded to it, hasn't dropped anything. It is, again, like right now in this moment at time on May 5th at 1:43 in the afternoon, I will say Kendrick is probably winning right now. But again, that could all change. It does seem like to me that it's whoever throws the last punch. It seems like who people think, the masses think is winning.
Well, I was also gonna say it's off. Like, because I've listened to all the songs repeatedly, multiple times. So I was gonna say, when it comes to like Meet the Grams, that's a diss, you know, and it's a hard diss in a sense of like just calling out this man and talking about him. But it's like the song he's talking to Drake himself. That's not for the masses. That's never gonna get replay value. You know, like they're never gonna play that in a club. You ain't gonna hear that in a bar. Family Matters. That's a I didn't want to say classic, but that's like a Drake. That's a Drake record. Like,
Yeah.
he switches up the beat 3 times. He does hit Kendrick in a couple parts. He calls out, you know, a lot of the people that were calling him out, and he does use some double entendres and other shit. So, I think it's a good song, and I definitely, just like when Euphoria dropped, you were watching the game yesterday. Did you hear it in the background?
No.
They played. They had Family Matters playing in the NBA background.
Oh shit.
So it was it goes to show you, like,
I mean,
everyone's in the beef. Like, it don't matter.
It's a cultural thing more than anything. It is a cultural thing more than anything, and especially like, and I fucking hate it, but I mean that's just the world we live in. It's inevitably turns into a race thing. You know, light skin, dark skin, fucking mixed guy versus a fucking dark skinned black dude. Fucking everyone calling him white boy. You know, looking for street cred over here going to Atlanta. I mean, he maps it out in Not Like Us as far as like the history
Kendrick,
of the history of Atlanta and how Drake is like, you know, pushing it. You know, now 2024 he's doing the same thing that was done, you know, with slaves in Atlanta, all this shit. Like again, like Not Like Us is a fucking, like, as far as diss tracks and shit like that,
Not Like Us is crazy.
He does fuck him up.
Not like
that's a nice
crazy.
3-piece fucking combo that fucking
Tink,
rocks
tink,
him.
tink.
Yeah, real shit. So it's like
Drake's in his corner right now, like,
in
damn, what the
between
fuck
rounds,
he just hit me with?
for real shit. So like, again,
you
Drake
either
needs to
come out fighting or you throw in the towel.
He needs to come out with something. And the thing is you know, I was hanging out with Jordan yesterday. We were watching the game, talking all this shit. Dennis was, you know, we're talking to Dennis too. But you know, part of it is too is that he needs to fucking, when Pusha T came out with the whole kid stuff, you're hiding a child, Drake kind of like, you know, it kind of seemed like he tucked his tail between his legs and kind of dipped off. Like,
he was like, damn it.
He's like, yeah,
I gotta bring my skid out.
Yeah. This time around, like with the daughter stuff, he's like pretty quickly like denounced it and all that shit. Like, he's been still pretty active. Like, he hasn't really like hidden away or like kind of ducked off for a little bit and shit like that. Like, he's still been pretty active on social media. He's still kind of trolling and shit.
So he's either gotta,
so that's why it's like, and the fact that, you know, he's coming out and saying that the daughter thing isn't real. You know, that's kind of what I'm waiting for, is to see how much of the stuff that Kendrick is saying is like actually valid and how much of it is just for fucking shock value and we're dissing each other and just being disrespectful. Like, how, you know, how much of it is that? So I mean, that also plays part of it too.
Both ways, because with the Drake side saying like Kendrick beats his wife, or Kendrick, you know, did this, or if he's living in New York now, those reasons. Yeah, but that's not, I mean, again, the beating your wife thing, obviously that's no good, but like you said, the pedophile thing, that's probably the most damning thing that anyone For
has,
sure.
either of them has said. So like, you know, if Kendrick Lamar is beating his wife,
he goes back and forth with it too. He says like Drake's team is pedophiles, and then he's like, oh no, Drake, you're the pedophile, and then like in different songs,
he's just saying they're a group of fucking pedos, fucking
pretty much. He's like,
chilling
you all
up
are
in Canada.
shitty people.
Which Canada, I mean, not to get political or anything, but their prime minister is pretty fucking wild with the transgender shit and giving kids, like being able for kids to start taking hormones and all that shit. So
damn shame.
Yeah, those Canadians up there.
Canada,
I like,
you know, crazy fucks you.
Canada, I mean, and I don't want to shit on the whole of Canada because obviously that's not, you know, that's not every Canadian, view. But like,
correct. Everyone's views don't have.
Speaking
to be like
of views, fucking Drake. Getting back on the topic. Nah, but yeah, I mean, it's been interesting. It's been entertaining to say the least. Oh, yeah. And again, you could really, depending on what team you're on, who you're rooting for, like you can really spin this either way. I feel like it's a very close like race right now. Like I don't think it's
close, but Kendrick is winning
right now in the moment. Yes, Kendrick is winning, but again, it could turn just like that. You know, if Drake drops something within the
next day, I'd say.
I want to keep my phone on me right now because he might drop something fucking right now. And we don't even fucking realize it. But
that'd be some shit.
But you know, it is it is giving. I mean, this is gonna go down in hip hop history for sure.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, when was the last time we had this type of beef between two? I mean, I don't even think at this point it's arguable at the two best rappers in the game right now.
Yeah.
Especially for our generation.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I mean, the only other beef like this was like the Pac and Biggie.
Jay-Z and Nas.
True, but why I say Pac and Biggie, because it's kind of like the same thing in this scenario.
East Coast, West Coast type shit.
Yeah, because it's like Canada, West Coast, like.
I mean, 50 Cent in The Game, that was another one.
No, you're right. That was a big one.
I mean, listen, like, obviously, like,
rap beef is just good for
just
for music.
I mean, and it's embedded in it. Like, you know, you hear a lot of rappers saying that rap is a competitive sport. You know, it is, you know, with the beefs and the bars and the punchlines and coming at people, and it is a lot of putting yourself up and bringing everybody else down and all that shit. So, you know, kind of naturally, it kind of brings that out of people, especially obviously in rap, and that's the only type of music genre that really does that we really see, like, you know, comparing numbers. Correct. And, you know, bring stats like it's a fucking sport. But
I mean, you can kind of have that in like the pop, you know,
but not even, because there's never really been like,
well, I mean,
pop diss tracks.
You could, not diss tracks, but you could take it all the way back to like Prince and Michael Jackson, like Drake and Kendrick keep going off of.
Yeah,
they
I mean,
famously didn't like each other and famously would try to outdo each other.
For sure.
And then you have, you know, in more of the modern time, there's not necessarily those same kind of pop stars, but then you have like The Weeknd is a pop star who his numbers are good, but they, you know, he doesn't compare himself to the rap numbers because it's like, it's not the same.
Well, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, you know, they're not out here comparing stats, throwing stats out. Like, these are my numbers, these are yours. Like we do with a Michael and fucking LeBron, or like we do with a fucking Peyton and Tom Brady, or I guess at this point Mahomes and Brady, or whatever. Like, in actual sport, like that's the only genre of music that we're throwing out numbers and like really like, bet this is what I'm doing. Like, what are your numbers? What are your stats looking like?
I mean,
and again, there's been feuds obviously in music and shit like that, but it doesn't. This has been really, you know, rap is really the only one where it gets dirty and it gets violent and people end up dying. Historically,
yeah, in some cases.
Biggie and Tupac.
Yep,
they're both dead. They both got shot. So I mean,
and no one still knows who did it.
We know who did it. We know the people. Well, I guess we don't know who did it, but we know the people that set it up. But you know, that's for a different day. But I mean, listen, I'm more leaning towards Drake. I'm more of a Drake guy. I listen to more of Drake's music. He does more numbers. He's put more people on.
You also are a Drake fan.
Yeah,
I'm a Kendrick fan. No, listen, but I'm unbiased.
I'm a Kendrick fan too. I like Kendrick Lamar. I do
like Kendrick.
I think what he does. I think what he does and what he's done, and you know, all that shit. If we're talking about purely rap and hip hop, he's the better rapper. But
as far as lyrically, Kendrick is the better rapper than Drake. But Drake
transcended rap. He took rap to mainstream.
Well, not only just ascended rap, but also just his diversity. Like, you'll never hear Kendrick, you know, can go into all these different kind of genres, into like house music. Drake is more than just rap.
He's a musician. He's an artist. He's transcended rap. He is above rap at this point. Yeah. And I feel like that's what a lot of the beef comes from, and that's where a lot of the hate is coming from. Part of it might be self-inflicted by Drake because of, you know, what comes with that, the arrogance, the cockiness, the money, the wanting to be the guy. You know, what comes, because he's, regardless of what anybody wants to say, he comes from rap. That's what he came up as a rapper.
Correct.
So, like, that is in his DNA, whether people want to be like, oh, well, the culture and this and blah, 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 and all that fucking race shit. Like, shut the fuck up with that shit. Like, he came up as a fucking rapper. That's where he made his name. That's where he got all the respect of all these rappers, because he could actually write, he can actually spit, he can actually go and fucking make a fucking a rap song and make it pop. That's what made, like, literally, that's what his career is.
Yeah.
So people want to fucking try and shit and take away and do this and do that. But at the end of the day, again, rap is a big numbers game, is a big stats game. The numbers don't fucking lie. He is better than anybody else who has done it in rap, numbers wise.
Yeah.
And maybe not, but there's a very small group of people that you can put in the conversation with Drake as far as numbers and bringing people up and putting people on.
Yeah. No, putting
Jay-Z's,
people on.
Kanye West.
Putting people on.
You know, those are
Drake,
greats.
Drake has definitely helped putting a lot of people on. But just going off pure rap again, rap is like you said, it's like rappers view it as a sport, view it as like, oh, if I'm not the best, I'm not doing I'm not doing what I want to be doing. Kendrick is a very prideful person. Kendrick holds himself as, well, in his eyes, the best rapper alive. So he's gotta, in like when this rap beef and like the settle shots and all that was coming along, Kendrick's probably looking at it like, nah, I gotta kill him because I'm number one. Like, the world's got to view me as number one because that's how I view myself. And Drake, I'm sure, feels the same way. He's a prideful guy. He's not gonna hopefully he's not just gonna sit there and be like, oh, he got me.
He called me a pedophile. That's it.
Yep, he called me a pedophile.
The jig is up, fellas. Damn, that would be some shit. Oh my God. He really did fucking call him a fucking pedophile.
Not just that, but told people to stay away from him. Told him the FBI is looking at him.
If he likes you, if he likes you, make sure your little sister's out of the way because he's gonna go for her. Like he was fucking. That's some shit.
They have him on that Leo shit, just younger. They're past
the thing
18.
is too, and this is gonna be a very, very unpopular opinion, but again, and I also realize this being a guy, but like, again, how many times do we see fucking 40, 50-year-old women going for fucking 22, 23, 24, 25-year-old guys? The only difference is that we as a society, whether you're a guy or a girl, view it as women are vulnerable and can't protect themselves, which goes against all this fucking Me Too and fucking women empowerment shit, kind of. But as a guy, you're viewed as, from a younger age, from 15, 16, 17, 18, like you can defend yourself against most women. So if a girl is coming in and
defend yourself against almost all women.
Well, I mean, there's some fucking Helgas out there. You know what I'm talking about?
It's true. Amanda Nunez
will fucking power lift both of us at the same time. Yes. And then what are we gonna do? We're just at their mercy. But anyways, like, so it is the stigma. It is how it's viewed that, like, as a man, you should be able to protect yourself against most women, if not all women, and then men as well. So it is kind of the stigma of it and shit like that. But again, how many times have we seen, especially in the NBA, fucking these late 30s, 40s, 50-year-old women fucking wifing up, or I guess husbanding up, getting baby daddies from these young 22-year-olds. And I mean, and that's a form of manipulation. They're manipulating them. They're the more mature. They know what the fuck is going on. At 22 years old, you're fucking, especially if you're a superior athlete, revved up on fucking testosterone. You got fucking all the money in the world. You got pussy being thrown at you. Like, I'm not over here trying to make excuses, but like, you're horny as shit. You're gonna think with your dick and not your fucking head. Yeah. So it's like,
I'm going off that. Who you talking about in particular? Like Laura Pimpin,
fucking Brittany Renner with the fucking PJ Washington, and she literally came out and said,
got his ass.
Yeah, she literally pretty much came out and said, "Yeah, gotcha." Like, yeah. Now I'm fucking set for life, pretty much. Like, like that. So it's like, like, people want to move
somebody like that.
People want to move the goalposts and shit, and it's like, listen, I get it to an extent, because also, like, if my son were to come to me and be like, hey, and he's 16, 17 years old, and a fucking 20-something-year-old bitch is trying to suck him up, one, I would be like, listen, this bitch is probably crazy. You want to stay away from her. But like, also, it's like, hey, you got that. Like, you like, look at you. You're the man. If my daughter were to come with that same shit, I'm gonna go.
Where is he?
For real. Where is he?
Batman voice.
Where's Joker?
So,
like, I get it, but again, there is a double standard to that. That we have to realize that, like,
there's a double standard
older
in
women
society.
Do take advantage of young, immature men, and that's just, again, however you want to view that, that's up to you. I'm not saying how you got to view it, but
no, I mean,
I understand that there is the double standard.
And just like, I mean, women and men, there's a reason most women will date a couple years older than them, because to catch that maturity level, girls are more mature than men.
Yeah, they mature quicker. They mature quicker than guys.
It's just what it is. So are there mature men? Of course there are. Are we mature? I would hope so.
I am.
But there's also very
Look
immature.
At me. I'm drinking out of a glass, and I had a mustache.
But like, women mature faster than men. Helen's 4 years younger than me. She's more mature than I am. I could say that. But, you know, it's just something in life that I feel like I'm pretty mature. But in other things, I've been very immature. And I'm like, this is a learning process.
Part of it is too, like part of it, yeah, is immaturity. But I also feel like part of it is just like guys are just a lot more simple. So they just view shit in a lot more simple ways.
We
so
do
like,
view things a little different, of course.
yeah, it's just like I don't need to fucking view the world and I mean I do, but like for the most part, most things are like problem, solution, problem, multiple solutions. What solution am I gonna pick?
Yeah.
Girls look at it as like problem. Oh my gosh, well the world is burning and all this shit, and they go into such a fucking. It's like, oh god, like it's not
also,
that deep.
It also depends on the thing. Like there's some things that us being simple or simple-minded in a sense,
It helps.
Will help, but it also can fuck us up because like sometimes we like make something easier than it should be. Like something it does need to be more thought out, but we're not thinking like that. We're like, this is a simple fix.
Yeah,
and then it could lead to problems. But
which I mean, and this is more of a general statement, not specific to one gender. I mean, that's just a kind of a person, a people thing though. Like we naturally as people make shit 10 times more complicated than it really actually needs to be. And even guys that are more simple, I mean, if you look at it, guys have pretty much run the world and it's still fucked up because we're making simple things more complicated than what they need to be because people got hidden agendas. People want to do this. People want to do that. People think this. People feel like they need to fucking, you know, take out their fucking anger on the world and blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, I don't think people are simple, but I think out of the two, men are more simple than women. But again, overall, people are just complicated, complex creatures that make everything so much more fucking difficult than it needs to be.
We think we're smarter than we truly are, and we kind of get in our own way a lot.
Well, we're just more emotionally intelligent than most animals. As far as like understanding feelings, understanding what they are, understanding triggers, how to fucking stop them, this, that, whatever. So that in turn makes people think that, well, then we're better. We're smarter. We're this, we're that. When it's like, not really. I mean, look at dogs. Simple as shit. They are probably some of the happiest fucking animals in the world. Simple. Don't fucking know jack shit about jack shit.
Well, they're also like, oh, you're giving us food? All right, we're going outside.
Yeah, like literally the simple necessities they're fucking happy with. Humans are not happy with the basic necessities of life. Water, food, shelter,
yeah, they're like,
sunlight.
We have a nice house. We want a bigger house.
Yep.
We got a car. I want a nicer car.
My neighbor got this pool. Let me fucking buy a beach just to show him up.
Buy a beach.
Just to fucking show him the fuck up. I mean, and again, that goes all back.
An island.
It goes all back into this rap beef. Like it goes back into just fucking, you know, puffing your chest and who's got the bigger balls.
I mean, going
back
to the Rick Ross versus Drake part. Like Rick Ross was trying to post mansions or whatever, and they like the internet did that, showing both their mansions, like whose mansions.
Who the fuck? Like I would live in either of them. Like both. Like who the fuck? Like
I'd live in the garage.
For real.
Fucking huge.
It's probably nicer than what I got right now.
Yeah. Like
I'd live in one of their cars. Their cars probably cost more than the house that we live in. Fuck.
So the house I've been working at this past fucking month out in Tavares, the house across the street is the dad of the house that like I'm working on.
Oh shit.
And he's like the one kind of paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
I went over there across the street because he asked me to check something for them, right? This house has a private tennis court, a circled, the round circle driveway. Then it goes this way. It looks like a separate house. That's the garage. It's a 3-car garage. And then it has another little...
Like a guest house?
The pool house. The screen for the pool. Not just the pool itself, but the screen that goes over the pool is bigger than my childhood home. And I have a nice house.
For people that don't know Tavares, it's out in the middle of nowhere, tons of land, so you can fucking build fucking estates.
The people,
and it's a ton of old people, so that's old money.
One of my coworkers checked on the listing on the house. $2 million house, 7,000 square feet.
Goddamn.
And I don't even think that was including the pool house that I saw. I was just like, Jesus.
We're going to have a no hangover house like that. No pedos, though.
No. Strictly no pedos allowed.
I don't want people fucking... I'm not like... Again, that shit is fucking like... even if it's just in the like for the sake of like rap beef and shit like that, that is a haymaker. He threw a fucking right hook.
Honestly.
Straight to the fucking chin. It's like, not only am I going to take a fucking Google picture of your fucking house, but we're going to, whether it's true or not, don't know. We're going to fucking edit or fucking go on predators.com and fucking
pin it. We're going to pin the shit out of your house. That is
Drake, please say something. Respond.
Yeah. No, you need to respond. Because if not, it's like,
that's some shit.
I mean, I'm a Drake fan. I do like Kendrick as well. I would say I like Drake more than I like Kendrick.
Yeah.
But Kendrick is winning the beef.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
and I mean, arguably though,
we listen
Kendrick
to Drake more for
Kendrick is the better rapper though. Like I would say,
yeah, I like
Drake's music more than I like Kendrick's music. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to pure just rap, Kendrick is a better rapper
for sure.
Lyrically, he's just insane. I mean, both of them are on my top 5, but
yeah, no, I mean, I agree with that.
I have a hard,
but again, like it is.
Getting a 5 is actually pretty hard for me.
Like rappers are
just like my top 5 rappers. Actually, it's not that hard. I think I figured it out.
That was pretty quick.
Yep. But like just pure rap. My top 5 rappers.
Yeah.
I got I guess I'll put them in order too. Fuck it.
Oh, here we go.
Top 5 rappers. And granted, I don't listen to all their music all of the time
this is
anymore.
Just strictly Jacobs.
Strictly what I think, bars, and like also the role they've played in my life, and if I have listened to their music a lot, would put Eminem as number 1.
All right.
Because I mean, back in the day, I mean, no one could fuck with that man. Lil Wayne, lyrically, killed it.
Woozy F baby.
Drake, just because his whole wide range of music. Kendrick at 4, and then I'd put Kanye at 5.
So you put Drake still ahead of
Kendrick?
Yeah.
I think, like I said, pure rapping. Pure rapping, I still do believe that Kendrick is the better rapper.
So you're just talking about your favorites.
My top 5 for like I said, what it is. I don't necessarily listen to Eminem anymore. I listen to songs every now and again, but
I've never.
It's
really
just when it came to pure rapping, his ability to rap was crazy.
Yeah. Damn, dog. We just went fucking 42 minutes on fucking
straight rap.
Kendrick and fucking Drake. I think that's the longest we've stayed on one topic.
Oh.
I mean, and yeah, there was a little subtopics in there, but it all led back to the same shit.
Oh.
Again, because it is a cultural thing. I mean, this is gonna go down in not only rap and hip hop history, but this is gonna go down in music history. Because, and again, y'all might not want to hear it, Kendrick fans, but it's because of the superstardom of Drake. It's because he has, again, transcended rap and gone beyond rap as a global artist. So, whether you want to admit that or not, listen, and I'm more of a Drake guy. I want him to come out of this on top in the winner, but you gotta take everything for what it is. And if
violating this man.
Well, that, and if Drake wasn't the star that he is, this doesn't get the pub that it gets.
No, there wouldn't be. I mean, to Eric's point, if Drake wasn't who Drake was, no artist ever would come out with 4, 5, 6, possibly up to 10 songs for the same person, just to show like
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. That was some bitch shit. I'm not gonna lie. Like that seemed like some fucking I fucking hate you. Fuck you.
Yeah. It's funny though.
It was funny.
Euphoria is a good song though.
The thing with Drake or with Kendrick though too is that a lot of people want to, because Drake comes from that acting background and shit like that and blah blah. They want to throw that narrative onto him, but like Kendrick is probably the most conceptual rap artist that we have out. So like as far as that, like he will feed into a role when it's time to drop albums.
I mean,
and
part 5,
he's like a method rapper essentially. And again, like take that for what you want, but like he feeds into the role that he's playing for that album.
Yeah.
Whether it was Good Kid, Mad City, and they come from life experiences as far as Good Kid, Mad City to Pimp a Butterfly kind of came more from that kind of activist role and shit like that. Damn, kind of like he's coming out and like I'm not a fucking one of these overnight activists and all that shit and blah blah, and so he does find a role that he's gonna play in whether it comes from real life or whether it comes from something else, like his real life, or it comes from something else, and then plays into it. So I do feel like people are kind of like overlooking that in the sense of like, these guys are both actors. Once you get to that height of fame and in certain industries, music, acting, entertainment, like you do have a persona. Kendrick is not what's it called? He's not immune to this shit. Like he is also part of that Hollywood lifestyle, the fucking top dogs, fucking the elite, as far as like the fucking playing a role and, you know, catering to shit and shit. Correct. Like that. So like,
yeah, he can't say he's fully like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm peaceful. I'm, you know, he tried to say like, there's nothing to find on me because I live a boring life, like this, that, which he might. I mean, I'm not saying he's out here in clubs and the streets like that all the time, but at the same time, like Eric was saying, he has played into the role of whatever album he's taking at the time, whatever project he's working on at the time. He's like, oh, you know, playing this, you know, either a villain or playing this, like you said, an activist, or playing
storyteller. I mean, whatever it is. But again, like people have to understand that as far as a conceptual artist and shit like that, like he can do a good job. And that's why I feel like a lot of his songs, that the diss songs, as far as like they hit a little bit harder because he can go into that, like he has the alien voice Kendrick and the mad upset voice Kendrick and all that shit. So he can tap into those. Yeah. But like, do I really think that's how he is as a person? Not really. I feel like he's playing into it.
How freaking many songs he's made. Just crazy. It's just crazy.
Bro, this whole thing is crazy.
What out of all the songs that are out, what's your favorite?
What's my favorite song out of all the songs that are out?
Yep, out of all the discs.
I mean, I was gonna say Taylor Made, but that Not Like Us, bro. That shit fucking, and it's not even that it's my favorite. It just fucking like,
it's damning. It is like
the fact that he's just straight up calling him a pedophile, and that you're harboring pedophiles in your house as well. Not only that you are one, but then you're fucking have a sanctuary of pedophiles and like sexual offenders in the OVO house, like. That like that shit is fucking, especially just like in the climate that we're in, like with the fucking, again, with the Jeff Epstein, the Harvey Weinstein stuff, the fucking, you know, people are so quick to fucking call out, you know, you're a sexual predator, this, that, whatever, whether, you know, the Bill Cosby shit, the R. Kelly stuff, the fucking, like all that fucking Louis C.K. was just fucking masturbating in front of people and fucking jacking off on the phone, and they were trying to fucking cancel him for that shit. Like just the climate that we're in, the Me Too stuff and all that shit, like that is just very something that like is.
I mean, Hyde from that 70s show.
Hyde from that 70s show was a fucking rapist. He's in jail now. Like, so it's like
30 years.
So it's like just the climate that we're in, and to fucking use those allegations and just
a picture of his house. I think that's what made
and not even that
even crazy.
I mean that, but then also on top of that, like just straight up saying like Drake, like you like little girls, like you like them young. Like it's not like he was mincing words. Like it's not like he was doing like wordplay and metaphors. Like he straight up said like, yeah, Drake, like you like little kids and your house is full of pedophiles and sexual predators. Oh. Like what the fuck? Oh. Like oh my god, like this is getting very, very dirty.
Yeah. It was like
very dirty.
I mean, like I said, I felt like when it came to replay value, Not Like Us, it's just a banger of a song as well. So I mean, they're gonna have
not only that, like
replay value.
He's getting fucking what's it called, mustard on the fucking beat. Like he's getting Taylor Swift producers to fucking like he's getting the music industry to fucking
back some of his stuff.
To go against Drake. I mean, and it kind of feeds into that 20v1 type shit.
It showed on some of the songs, like, you know, when you click on the songs. Oh.
I'll play it right now.
It shows, no, I'm saying like, you could see like
the credits and all
the credits. Yeah. That's on, for instance, I was on Push-Ups.
Yeah.
But then you go to the rest of their songs, Euphoria, Family Matters, you can't see it.
No?
No.
Actually, I didn't realize that. Man, oh man.
I'll just show it for Euphoria too.
Drake, the kid, the boy.
Where's the man? Another line Kendrick used. They call you the boy.
Oh, here it is. View credits, Family Matters. Oh, they don't really show. Yeah, they don't show
it. It doesn't show any for Family Matters, Not Like Us, Meet the Grams. It doesn't show any of them.
You know why? Because everybody nowadays is using ghostwriters. Everybody, like, music is so fucking, especially nowadays.
Well,
Genres
push-ups
is fucking, there is no more genres. Like, they're very loose in the sense of, like, what song fits into what genre. Because I don't know if you've heard it, but that song that's pretty big right now, it's called $1 Million Baby by
I haven't heard. I saw something about it.
By Tommy Richmond. It's a pretty good song. I don't know if we'll get in trouble for playing it, but like this is one of the top charting songs right now. They consider this a hip hop and rap song, but I like kind of. I'll let it play a little bit. Hey, 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 hey.
Yeah. I did see a thing that's like saying though.
But like if you
didn't
go
get success overnight though. He's been he's put out songs with Brent Fires and shit like that. But like if you look at like most of his catalog and most of his music, like as far as like what they have it labeled as genre, a lot of it is alternative. A lot of it is like kind of like house, like dance music and shit. So well, like I mean, like there is a very, and it's not like it sounds too different from that song that I just played. Oh. So it's like the lines of genre and like all that shit where there's hard lines, like they're very blurred now. Yeah. That's true.
And again, like a lot of artists like Drake, like big artists, The Weeknd,
pop, rap, like he would flirt with that line all the time.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, The Weeknd too. I mean, he flirts with that, and he's another one of those stars that came up as an R&B artist. He kind of brought in more of that raunchy R&B of like kind of like rap lyrics with R&B melody and R&B sound to it. But again, it went pop. So like he has something to do with that wave, and that has blurred a lot of the lines of what, you know, there is no hard lines on what genre of music is. Like obviously like there are certain songs that you hear and it's like, yes, that is a rap song, that is a pop song, that is, you know, this, that is this, that is this. But like now that you see a lot of artists working with, you know, country music stars, working with rappers, working with pop stars, working with fucking reggaetoneros, working with people that make salsa and all that shit, like a lot of these lines are getting blurred. Yeah. Dance music, house music is kind of having a resurgence again with guys like K Tronada, shit like that. That, you know, he just made an album with Amine, and he's a rapper, and they made like a dance rap album essentially. Yeah. So it's like a lot of those lines are being blurred.
I mean, all I could say is it's gonna this April and May so far have been great rap moments in history.
They will go down in the history books.
All I could say is I hope Drake drops something
soon
and doesn't do what he did during the Pusha T beef and just run from it.
Well, I mean, he wasn't running from it until Pusha T told him he was hiding a kid. And then he's like, oh, fuck.
You got me there. Who told him? He was like, you son of a bitch, how did you find out?
Yeah. Yeah, well.
You kind of wonder how do some of these like, because this isn't just common knowledge shit. Like you have to have
but it's people
actually searching for shit.
No, well, I mean, part of it is that. Part of it is also a lot of these camps, a lot of these groups of people intermingle with each other because they're in a lot of the same events. They know a lot of the same people, you know. They're going to a lot of the same parties, you know, all this shit. Again, artists are working with so many different artists now that people talk. Like, yeah, it's not as I have my clique, you have your clique, you know, we have to wait for a letter to get by or email. We have to wait until we're at the same event. Like, there's so many different people co-mingling, working with each other, you know, this, that, whatever. I could give a flying fuck. You can fucking wait. But, you know, so it gets a lot of, you know, you have a lot more just, I guess, like cross mingling with groups and shit like that. And, you know, information gets spread.
Well, to wrap up our episode today, do you think that it'll just be as simple as Drake's going to drop again? Maybe Kendrick drops more? Do you think the beef will turn violent? I know it's never going to turn.
I was actually thinking about that the other day too.
I know it's never going to, for instance, like even in Drake's Family Matters, he was like, y'all, the West Coast runs fades, come get these or some shit. Like, they're not going to fight. That's like, that will never happen.
I mean, yeah, so, you don't know. Maybe
Kendrick's a little guy.
Hey, but I'm sure he's got big dudes around him.
True, but that's
Listen, and again, like, just like with the Biggie and Tupac thing, like, it wasn't them directly shooting at each other. They sent hitters.
Yeah.
They sent shooters to go shoot at each other.
Oh.
So, I mean, maybe Drake, again, if the pedophile shit is true, I mean, how much what is he gonna say to fucking? Maybe it's, oh damn, the shit got out. Now I need to start getting rid of people. I mean, he talks a lot of that mob shit, the mob ties, fucking, I got shooters, I got hitters, like all that shit. So I mean, maybe it gets to that point where, and it's unfortunate because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, rap's not the same, it's not the same content, it's not the same
but they
sport.
don't want that to be the same.
Hey, the way that people talk, you would think they would. So, people, be careful what you ask
haters
for.
of both. Like there is people who hate Drake, like literally hate all his music and like, nah, fuck that guy.
And apparently Kendrick is one of them.
Well, yeah, Kendrick for sure.
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk, the way that you dress.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, do I want it to get to that point? Obviously not. This is all in good fun and battle rapping and fucking calling each other woman beaters and pedophiles and all that shit it makes for good, good conversation, shit to talk about. But, again,
it's all about
now
the drama.
We're dealing with, people's livelihood. I mean, if you call somebody a pedophile, you're dealing with someone's livelihood. If you call somebody a woman beater, especially when you're in the light like that, in the limelight, you're dealing with people's livelihoods.
Yeah.
You don't know what people are going to do once you start fucking with their money and their livelihood, talking about family, talking about
their kids. I mean,
talking about
Kendrick
kids.
straight up said Adonis. Like, he is talking directly to Drake's son.
Yeah, so
granted,
like,
the song isn't the greatest song ever, but what he's saying during the song is crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, you really don't know. Do I think people are gonna get violent? No, because rap's not really like that anymore, unless you get to more like just kind of local street level rap. But like mainstream rap ain't really like that anymore. But you never know. Maybe
in like Memphis or Houston.
But even then, like,
I mean,
again, that's more like street level
for
rap.
Instance, Young Dolph got
But
killed
he
for
was
no reason.
but he was more he was more street level rap. Young
Takeoff
Dolph
was more big, but
they were still in that life a little.
He got shot over something stupid.
Yeah,
it wasn't even like rap beef.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess
Takeoff.
it's yet to be seen what will happen. But if it gets to that point, then we'll see how people react and see how that impacts things. And people getting shot 25 years ago is a lot different than people getting shot now. The way
30 years ago.
The way that I'm talking about more like early 2000s, even early 2000s. I mean,
50.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that was a lot.
But that
more
wasn't
like,
rap beef either.
But that was a lot more accepted in rap community and rap and hip hop and rap culture and shit like that. That people were still getting shot. A lot of these rappers were still coming straight from the fucking hood and like coming straight from gang life. Like, it's not that it's not happening now, but it's not as prevalent. Like, we see a lot more industry plants, a lot of people that have seen talent, and yes, maybe they grew up in the hood, but they are quickly taken out of that. And you see that in a lot of things with sports too. You see, with academies and kids, you see these phenoms.
I mean, Lil Baby, for instance. Lil Baby was in the streets, but they got him out of the streets.
Exactly. So
but
like,
Lil Baby still, like, there's hella pictures. You see Lil Baby having his gun in his fucking.
Yeah. So it's like, where do people draw the line? When are people going to stop? What do people do? Again, people are the ultimate X factor. You never know what somebody's going to do until they fucking do it. So, does Drake send shooters at fucking Kendrick's people? Does Kendrick, depending if Drake comes out and says something, does, probably not, but you just never know. You just never fucking know. So,
like I was saying about the song, and hopefully, or hopefully not about the shooters part, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Booyah. Well, this was fun.
Yeah.
Stayed on topic for a fucking whole hour.
Rap battle.
For a whole fucking hour, we stayed on topic. So, progress. And Bears here for our send off.
Boom.
Looking a little flaky.
Yep.
Got dandruff. We got to take him to the vet. But anything else you want to say before we sign out?
Talking to you directly, Drake. I know you're gonna listen to this later.
Please, Drake. Please put something out.
we fuck with you. Drop some music.
Right. Shit, and make it.
You are down right now.
You are down. Make it something fucking juicy too. Yeah, everybody love everybody. That being said, deuces.
Peace.